G&R spoilers. The writers just made this huge mistake. With Nikki for years, Nikki Newman has been one of the strongest and most respected characters on The Young and the Restless. She has survived betrayal, addiction, family wars, business battles, and countless personal tragedies while remaining the emotional heart of the Newman family. But recent episodes have left many longtime viewers questioning one major creative decision. Instead of allowing Nikki to grow as an independent character, the story once again places her in the middle of Victor Newman's jealousy and insecurity. As a result, many fans believe the writers have made a significant mistake with Nikki's current storyline. The biggest issue is that Nikki's recent actions have been completely reasonable. After everything Jack Abbott has been through, including life-threatening situations and emotional struggles, Nikki simply wanted to check on an old friend. Their relationship has always been complicated, but it has also evolved into one built on respect and genuine friendship. There was nothing romantic about her concern. It was a moment of compassion between two people who share decades of history. However, Victor interpreted the situation very differently. Instead of appreciating Nikki's honesty, he immediately questioned her loyalty. Once again, viewers watched Victor become suspicious over a simple hospital visit, turning an act of kindness into another source of marital conflict. This has created frustration among many fans because it feels like the show is repeating the same storyline instead of giving the characters meaningful development. What makes this even more disappointing is Nikki's recent personal journey. Over the past year, she has faced enormous emotional and physical challenges. She has worked hard to rebuild her confidence, protect her family, and maintain her sobriety despite constant pressure. These experiences should have made her stronger and more independent. Instead, the current storyline often reduces her role to someone who must constantly defend herself against Victor's accusations. That approach doesn't reflect the Nikki viewers have admired for decades. Nikki has always been compassionate, intelligent, and capable of making her own decisions. She doesn't need permission to care about a longtime friend. Treating every interaction with Jack as if it automatically threatens her marriage undermines years of character development. Another reason fans are criticizing the storyline is because Victor himself has often maintained complicated relationships with people from his own past. Throughout The Young and the Restless, Victor has forgiven former enemies, reunited with old allies, and continued communicating with people despite difficult histories. Yet when Nikki shows concern for Jack, Victor suddenly acts as though trust no longer exists. That double standard has become increasingly difficult for viewers to ignore. Jack Abbott's role in this story is also important. He has never appeared to be trying to interfere with Nikki's marriage. Instead, he has been dealing with his own personal struggles while appreciating support from someone he has known for many years. Their conversations have focused on friendship, respect, and emotional encouragement rather than romance. That makes Victor's extreme reaction feel even less justified. Many fans believe the writers missed an opportunity to tell a far more mature story. Imagine if Victor had trusted Nikki completely. Instead of creating another argument fueled by jealousy, the show could have explored how long-time friendships continue to exist even after romantic relationships end. That would have reflected real life and allowed all three characters to evolve naturally. Instead, the storyline once again returns to familiar territory. Victor becomes suspicious. Nikki feels hurt by the accusations. Jack unintentionally becomes the center of another Newman-Abbott conflict. While this formula has worked in the past, repeating it too often risks making the characters feel stuck rather than constantly evolving. Social media discussions show that many longtime viewers are expressing similar concerns. Rather than criticizing Nikki's actions, a large portion of the audience is questioning why the writers continue using jealousy as the primary source of conflict in her marriage. Fans argue that Nikki deserves storylines highlighting her leadership, wisdom, and resilience instead of repeatedly proving her loyalty. Another overlooked aspect is Nikki's emotional intelligence. She understands the complicated history between the Newman and Abbott families better than almost anyone. She knows where boundaries should exist and has consistently shown respect for her marriage. Suggesting that a simple visit to an injured or recovering friend somehow represents betrayal feels inconsistent with everything audiences know about her character. The timing of Victor's behavior also raises questions. Nikki has stood beside him during countless crises. She has defended him when others doubted him and remained loyal through some of the darkest chapters in their relationship. Seeing Victor immediately question her intentions after all these years feels less like believable character drama and more like conflict created simply to move the plot forward. That is why many viewers describe this as one of the writer's biggest mistakes. The issue isn't creating conflict. Great soap operas thrive on emotional drama. The problem is creating conflict that ignores established character growth. When audiences stop believing characters would naturally behave this way, the emotional impact becomes much weaker. Looking ahead, there is still plenty of time for the writers to correct course. Victor could recognize that his jealousy is damaging his relationship. Nikki could firmly establish that compassion for an old friend does not equal betrayal. Jack could continue respecting appropriate boundaries while remaining someone Nikki can trust. Such an approach would strengthen all three characters rather than weakening any of them. Ultimately, Nikki Newman deserves stories that celebrate her strength instead of constantly placing her loyalty on trial. She has earned the respect of viewers through decades of unforgettable moments, and many fans hope future episodes will finally allow her to move beyond repetitive, jealousy-driven conflicts. If the writers choose that direction, Nikki's character can once again become the powerful, independent woman who has long been one of The Young and the Restless's greatest icons.